we in this fem dude era. What do they call it? The soft boy era. And I don't even want to say this out loud. I was in a club before she even had it. Hey y'all, what is going on? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Tony. I'm a lifestyle blogger and a self-love and mental health coach. So on today's video, I want to try something different, something new and fun. I am doing a Q&A so you guys get to know me, where I'm from, a little bit about some of my other hobbies and my other passions, and what caused me to start doing YouTube. This isn't going to take too long. This is actually my first time putting a question on Instagram to see if I get some responses, to see what it is that folks want to get to know about me. So what I realized is some of the questions are based on fashion. A lot of people from my Instagram, a lot of people from my social media know me from fashion. So you guys get to know some of that part of me as well, because I'm going to answer some of those questions. And I also saw a couple of questions about my move here, my move to the DMV area, and how I experienced that. It was a good experience. So I'll get into more details about that too. But let's start off with who I am and where I'm from, and also, let me see, who I am, where I'm from, and my top 3 passions. All right, so let's kick this off. I am Tony. I am from Cleveland, Ohio, and currently I am in the DMV area for the second time. And what are some of my passions? So as you guys know, I love living on YouTube. I love lifestyle vlogging. I enjoy cooking more than I used to, actually. Of course, I love working out. I love figuring out myself, unlearning things that are stopping me from being exactly who I want to be, and executing on that. But what you guys may not know about me is I have a really deep passion, purpose, natural desire for fashion. I even went to Kent State University to study fashion. My introduction into fashion was, I don't know, my parents were pretty young. They had me in '94, so they were just influenced by like streetwear, Tommy jeans, rugbies, Filas, gold chains, asymmetrical cuts. I mean, high top fades, you name it. The '90s, my parents were the '90s, and that just kind of, I just saw that my whole time growing up. And then I started getting into America's Next Top Model or magazines, and just, I love fashion, streetwear, high fashion. I love to merge the two. So let's get into one of the first questions I have. Actually, I have 3 questions based on fashion, so I'm going to answer one of them right now. Hold on. I'm over here looking at my laptop because I had to screenshot the IG responses and airdrop them since I recorded on my phone. So if there's a will, there's a way. Okay. Ooh. So these 2 questions are about my inspiration and when I started caring. So let's answer number 1. The first question is asking, when did you start caring about your wardrobe? Okay, like I said, I was always in the know of fashion because my parents will always be dressing around me, and also they always put me in cool clothes. So I will say it started pretty young, but when I knew I wanted to take it really serious and when I wanted to try to make it a career, I had to be around 7 or 8 when I started sketching. I started sketching looks. I wanted to be a fashion designer. So I'll say around 7 or 8, I started sketching fashion looks. That kind of led into me watching America's Next Top Model all the time. So having those 2 early intros into my own fashion was the beginning. I started caring about my fashion when I realized that I could express how I'm feeling through my clothes. One thing about me, I don't like when someone takes away my voice. I don't like to take away other people's voices. I don't like to answer questions for people. I like people to have the space to express themselves. And that kind of bleeds into the way I perceive fashion. Don't stop me from being who I am. Don't stop me from being able to say or express how I feel. So once I realize I can do that through how I'm piecing looks together, how I'm wearing this makeup with this look, how I'm styling my hair with this look, what am I saying about myself? Once I realize I'm able to use fashion as a creative outlet, it automatically became one of my biggest inspirations. Um, what's your biggest? I'm trying to think of this question differently too. What's your biggest inspiration fashion wise? My biggest inspiration fashion wise, in terms of what I see on other people, on celebrities, and on runaways, my biggest fashion inspiration is being able to be raw and also being able to be high fashion daily. And so a funny thing is, y'all see me, if I wear a denim jacket, my collar is gonna be popped. And I have had people say little comments about it, and I get it. It's not something that everybody's gonna do. But when I saw Kanye West and Amber Rose doing it, it meant something to me. I used to love seeing it back when you think about like the people in the 80s with their like spiked hair and their collar popped. But when I saw Amber Rose and Kanye West doing it, I felt like it meant something to me. It meant that you got to take the runway and put it into your day-to-day life. So high fashion and being able to live that every day is what is a big inspiration to me too. Like, how can I take these runway looks and incorporate them into my day-to-day? What am I saying and who am I speaking to? So yeah. Okay, so this question is, what's a fashion or style trend you like to see more men in 2025? I don't know. Y'all, I like to see men in something very masculine, but then they're going to throw a feminine touch on it. And I'm laughing because we in this fem dude era. What do they call it? The soft boy era. And I don't even want to say this out loud, but when I first saw Jermaine Dupri, wearing a charm bracelet, it was like a Louis Vuitton charm bracelet or something like that, I like went crazy. Like, you can have one jogging suit, you can have on I mean, he probably had on like a hoodie and jeans, but the dangles, the feminine touch of the charm bracelet, it really lit me up. I'm like, yeah, I like that. So I started to pay more attention to how men are accessorizing, and you have to be 97% masculine in your look in order to pull this off successfully. I'm not a girl who likes nose rings. I'm not a girl who likes dangling earrings on guys, but that charm bracelet, I want to see more men wear something that is like, I want to see men wear something that is unusual, but they're not changing their whole identity. And I want to see you be like 97% masculine with this little bit of feminine touch that allows me to know that you aren't afraid of your emotions. So I want to see more of that. Or when I do see it, it makes me feel happy. So yeah, that is something I want to see more of in 2025. If you aren't already following me on TikTok, please do follow me on TikTok at Tony J Hunt. This is where I post a lot of my get ready with me's and a lot of my how to style looks. I style jeans, I style sweaters, I style gender neutral looks. And it's so fun. I love to be able to inspire people and allow them to find ways to make their closet work for them. So if you aren't already following me on TikTok, that is the place to be when you're looking for how to style, get ready with me, and what should I be looking like and wearing. How can I expand my closet? I want to talk a little bit about what made me move to the DMV area. So earlier I discussed that I went to Kent State University for fashion. That wasn't my first option. My first option was to go to Howard University, an all-black HBCU, to study journalism potentially. I think that's what it was. I knew I wanted to be at Howard because I saw pamphlets of black people who looked happy and black people who looked successful. So, unfortunately, I didn't get accepted into Howard, and I didn't know anything about trying to what is it called? Um, Trying to pretty much make my case as to why I should be accepted. I didn't know anything about that until like last year, or not even last year, like 3 months ago. I saw black people happy. I've always heard people out here are having strong careers, and I just wanted to be in the DMV area. So although I didn't get accepted into Howard, it was still a calling for me. So after I graduated from Kent State, um, after I graduated from Kent State, I started applying for jobs like crazy in the DMV area. There was one time I took a Greyhound bus from Cleveland to DC, which is probably like 13 hours or more. I can't even remember. But I did that, and I do have people who live here. Um, so I was able to stop at their place, freshen up, shower, get ready for my interview. But I rode the bus here for an interview. Before I finish that part of the story, let me answer the next question, which is tied into my move to DMV. Okay, y'all. So this question says, how was it moving away from your hometown? And did you do it alone or did you know somebody here? Okay, so like I said, I came here on that bus and I was able to stop at someone's house that I did know to shower and get ready for my interview. So to answer the question, I did know people out here in the DMV or DC. My godmother and also my mom's first cousin and his family lived here. So it wasn't like I was here with them though. I really still had an experience of me being here alone because it wasn't like I saw them every day. I probably saw my godmother maybe once or twice a month, and I used to see my uncle, my aunt, and my cousins um, every Sunday because my uncle was a pastor at a church here, and so I used to go to church there, and then we would have Sunday dinner. So that was really nice to have that support and not feel like I was here alone. But through Monday through Saturday, it was like all me and my dog Lulu. And then Sunday, I was able to mix my life in with familiarity. I didn't have a really strong relationship with my uncle and his family before I moved here. So it was like building a new relationship with all of them. And yes, sure, I did know them. We spent time together in Cleveland, but not a ton of time because growing up, I spent a lot of time with my dad's side of the family, not my mom's side. I would go over to my mom's side every once in a while, every few months. But it was like building new relationships with my uncle, my aunt, and my cousins, as well as strengthening my relationship with my godmother and her family as well. I would go over there every once in a while to babysit her daughter, and we would eat and hang out. And so it was really nice to be able to do that and have that support when I needed to be around family. And there was times like I couldn't go home for Thanksgiving where I was able to go to my aunt's house and she cooked. And I would say that I had began a second family here for sure. Another thing that I want to talk about really quick is the fact that as you get older, you'll understand that you have to build your tribe. People are lucky enough to have a strong family where your family is your tribe and they're your best friends and all of the things. But some people don't have that type of lifestyle and they don't have that type of family. So me being able to build that family community with my aunt and uncle, who's my mom's first cousin, by the way, we just call them aunt and uncle. I gotta respect. And my godmother at that time was really important for me to do that. And I started to also build community with my friends. My friends became my family. I got to pick and select who I wanted to be around me, which is opposite of like, of course, your blood family. And it just became more at ease in terms of who it is that I spent my time with and surrounded myself with. Being here alone also pushed me to learn myself. So Monday through Saturday when I was by myself, all the things hit me, and I had to start unlearning, and I had to start healing, and I had to start getting to know myself, which eventually turns into the power she holds. That was a great question. All right, I only had those few questions. Like I said, that was my first time asking IG to send me questions, and also I put it up. I did my makeup, and then I got to recording, so I didn't even give it a chance to be on there for so long. I did have somebody ask me to come to Atlanta, maybe soon. I am going back to see my family soon, and I need to go somewhere to a beach soon. So maybe after the beach, I'll come to Atlanta. I guess it would be nice to come in the summertime. So potentially I come this summer. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. Is there anything else that I want to share? I feel like there's a ton I can share that's outside of my normal content, but I'm going to drop another question box on my IG pretty soon so we can do this again. I had fun recording this. I hope that y'all enjoyed this. Leave me some comments. Leave me more questions in my comments. And make sure y'all are subscribed if you are not. Subscribe to my YouTube. Follow my TikTok at Tony J Hunt. And follow my IG at Tony.Hunt. See y'all later.